Voice over rates. Wow. What an interesting topic. It is a hot topic within the voiceover community. It probably is within the learning community as well, understandably so. One of the things that I constantly tell my voiceover students when I'm coaching them, when we get to the place where we're talking about what should they charge for their work, is this. It's a very simple concept regarding economics, and it's this. You're not worth what you say you're worth. You're worth what somebody else is willing to pay you. So the value of a voiceover can only be determined by you. And there are so many variables that go into that more than I would know if it's your project, things that you may only understand. On my end, some of the things that first of all, let's talk about price range. Generally speaking, and when it comes to rates and voiceover, it is the Wild West, as you may be well aware. But typically speaking, for a professional, a good high-end voiceover talent, you're talking anywhere from $30 to $35 to $50 to $55 per finished minute of audio. And when I say per finished minute, I mean it's recorded, it's edited, it's proofed, it's plug and play ready. You put it in your project and it's ready to go. So that's the general going rate, and it's a range, and it can depend on, for instance, if I'm doing work for Eli Lilly or Bristol Myers Squibb or like a pharmaceutical company or something that's highly technical in nature, that is generally speaking going to pay more than if I'm doing something that's human resource related or sales training related, where the terminology is not quite so complicated and difficult. So that can play a part of it. Also, the size of the company and the reach, the number of employees, what department and what it's about and how it's going to impact the bottom line of the organization, things that I wouldn't be or any other voice talent wouldn't be privy to. So at the end of the day, it's something that you have to decide. However, if you are looking for, I'll say, top tier or higher toward the top tier of voice talent, that is the range that you should be looking at. There is no formula for calculating the exact rate you should charge or pay. Like I said, there's so many moving parts. You have to determine the value and explain that to the talent as simply as you can. And it might just be as simple as, this is what we can pay for the project. And there's nothing wrong with that. As a matter of fact, I prefer when a client tells me, this is what this project is worth to me. This is the budget. Does this work within your price structure? That way I'm able to make an educated choice right at that moment and say, yes, that works for me. I can do that. Or no, based on my workload and the clients I'm doing work for, this rate just simply won't work for me. But I think we also have to throw in that there are extenuating circumstances. For instance, if it's a client that I've never worked for before, and I can see that it's going to be a highly difficult project in terms of navigating the lingo and maybe just a lot of hoops to jump through, then I'm going to come and if I'm asked for a quote, I'm going to quote on the higher end. However, I have clients that I've done work for years, some 15, 16, upwards of 17 years, that work with me on a very regular, some and almost a daily basis. And so I think it's good and appropriate that clients who provide me with a steady stream of work get a preferred rate. It works that way in business. High volume, lower prices. And that's certainly going to be true when I'm working with a client. And I think it's something that you can expect if you're developing an ongoing relationship and you're not just doing one-offs with somebody, but you're providing a steady, ongoing stream of work. I would certainly ask the voice talent to consider that when providing a quote. And together you should be able to come to a reasonable rate, a rate that, again, at the end of the day, it has to work for you. So never feel bad or hesitate in giving the quote, the budget for the project that is appropriate for you, your department, and your organization.